China's ambition to become a global aviation powerhouse is no secret. For decades, the nation has invested heavily in its aerospace sector, determined to reduce its reliance on foreign technology and assert its place on the world stage. For years, Boeing and Airbus dominated the skies, setting the standard for commercial aviation. But the Comac C919 marks China's bold entry into this exclusive club, signaling a new era of competition in the global market. This narrow-body airliner is more than just a new aircraft. It's a declaration of China's intent to challenge Western dominance in aerospace. The C919 is the result of years of research, development, and collaboration among China's top engineers and aviation experts. Designed to rival the Airbus A320neo and Boeing 737 MAX, the C919 targets the world's fastest-growing aviation market, China itself. With air travel demand soaring, the C919 is poised to capture a significant share of domestic and eventually international routes. By building its own jet, China aims to keep billions in domestic spending at home and showcase its technological progress. The C919's development also supports thousands of jobs and stimulates innovation across the country's manufacturing sector. The C919 carries up to 192 passengers, offering airlines a modern, efficient option for short and medium-haul routes. Its spacious cabin and advanced systems are designed to meet the expectations of today's travelers. Its true significance lies in what it represents, a direct challenge to the status quo and a step toward a multipolar aviation industry. The C919 is a symbol of China's growing influence and ambition in the global marketplace. The C919 is already flying with Chinese carriers, laying the groundwork for future international expansion. As more airlines consider adding the C919 to their fleets, its global presence is set to grow. China's ultimate goal is clear: secure global certification and reshape the world's aviation landscape. The journey has just begun, but the C919 is already making history as a symbol of China's determination and vision for the future. Despite its Chinese badge, the C919's core technology is still Western. Its LEAP-1C engines come from CFM International, a joint venture between America's GE and France's Safran. This reliance on foreign engines is a strategic vulnerability for China. The supply of these engines is subject to Western export controls, leaving the C919 exposed to geopolitical risks. For China, this dependency is unacceptable. True independence means mastering jet engine technology. From the outset, China saw the LEAP-1C as a stopgap, not a permanent solution. The real ambition: develop a homegrown engine to power the C919 and future jets. This is not just a technical challenge, but a matter of national security and pride. Without its own engine, the C919 remains only a partial victory for China's aerospace ambitions. Rising tensions with the West were no longer just a matter of diplomatic rhetoric or economic posturing. They were now reshaping the very foundations of global industry. For China, its reliance on foreign-made jet engines had always been a strategic concern, but these new realities turned that vulnerability into a full-blown crisis, threatening the future of its aviation ambitions. U.S. sanctions and sweeping export controls zeroed in on China's aerospace sector, placing Comac and its key suppliers on restricted lists and effectively cutting off access to critical technology. In 2025, a sudden U.S. ban on LEAP-1C engine sales brought C919 production to a standstill for weeks, laying bare just how exposed China was to foreign pressure and supply chain shocks. Although the ban was eventually lifted, the episode sent a chilling message: China's most critical industries could be crippled overnight by decisions made far beyond its borders. This shockwave galvanized Beijing into action, accelerating a massive push for technological self-reliance. The government funneled unprecedented state investment into domestic engine research, development, and manufacturing. The Aero Engine Corporation of China, or AECC, was given a clear mandate: fast-track a homegrown alternative no matter the cost or challenge. Meanwhile, Europe found itself caught in a dilemma, torn between lucrative business ties with China and mounting security concerns, facing growing pressure to align with U.S. restrictions. The West's coordinated actions made it unmistakably clear: the era of open technological cooperation was over. China would have to chart its own course, relying on its own ingenuity and resources. The race for a sovereign Chinese jet engine was no longer a distant goal. It had become an urgent sprint, with the clock ticking and the world watching. For Beijing, the lesson was clear. Never again could its national ambitions or technological dreams be held hostage to the shifting winds of foreign policy. To break free from Western technology, China turned to Russia, a fellow target of sanctions and a powerhouse in jet engine design. Together they launched the CJ-1000A engine project, blending Chinese ambition with Russian expertise. Russia's experience with advanced turbine blades and engine cores filled key gaps in China's capabilities. For Russia, the partnership offered economic lifelines and a chance to counter Western isolation. This collaboration is more than technical. It's a geopolitical alliance challenging Western dominance. Russian engineers are now deeply involved in solving the CJ-1000's toughest problems, from metallurgy to system integration. The goal: certify and mass-produce a world-class engine by decade's end, freeing the C919 from Western control. If successful, this project will create the first truly sovereign Chinese airliner. The stakes are high, and both nations are betting big on this joint venture. The Sino-Russian engine project has rattled the foundations of the global aviation industry. For decades, Airbus and Boeing enjoyed a comfortable duopoly, reaping huge profits and global influence. A successful CJ-1000-powered C919 threatens to upend this balance, especially in the vast Chinese market. European leaders fear losing access to China, their biggest growth market, as state-backed Chinese airlines shift to domestic jets. The partnership also signals a deeper strategic alignment between China and Russia, aiming to build a self-sufficient tech ecosystem. The EU now faces tough choices: tighten export controls and risk economic retaliation, or accept a new, multipolar reality. The debate is urgent: how to protect Europe's interests without provoking a damaging trade war. The duopoly's era of comfort is ending, replaced by fierce, geopolitically charged competition. Building a world-class jet engine is one of engineering's toughest challenges. The CJ-1000 must match decades of Western expertise in metallurgy, manufacturing, and system integration. The biggest hurdle: producing flawless single-crystal turbine blades that withstand extreme heat and stress. Even with Russian help, scaling up to commercial reliability and longevity is daunting. Integrating the engine with the C919 airframe adds another layer of complexity, demanding perfect harmony between thousands of parts. Certification is the final formidable barrier. China's regulator may approve the engine, but Western validation is essential for global sales. Given current politics, ESA or FAA approval will be a steep uphill battle. Most experts agree a certified, mass-produced CJ-1000 is still years away, likely not before the early 2030s. The road to true independence is long and uncertain. If the CJ-1000-powered C919 succeeds, the global aviation market will be transformed. China would likely require its airlines to buy domestic, shutting out Airbus and Boeing from the world's largest growth market. The ripple effects would reach Asia, Africa, and Latin America, where Chinese financing and influence are strong. A new market divide would emerge: Western jets for the US and Europe, Chinese jets for much of the rest. This would erode the Western duopoly's market share and challenge their control over global standards. Fierce price competition would squeeze profits, forcing Airbus and Boeing to adapt or fall behind. Airlines might benefit from lower prices, but the industry's comfortable margins would vanish. The age of easy dominance would be over, replaced by a new era of multipolar rivalry. The success of the CJ-1000 would mark a turning point in global technology and power, signaling the arrival of a new era in aviation. For decades, the West has set the pace in aerospace innovation, but this breakthrough could shift the balance, opening the door to a more competitive and unpredictable landscape. Western dominance in aerospace would give way to a multipolar world, diminishing the leverage of sanctions and export controls. The traditional giants, Boeing and Airbus, would face a formidable new rival, and the rules of the game would change for everyone involved. For China, it would be a crowning achievement, proof of its rise as a technological superpower. The CJ-1000 would become a symbol of national pride, inspiring further investment in high-tech industries and fueling ambitions beyond aviation. The world would see new choices and new pressures. As airlines' fleet decisions become statements of geopolitical alignment, every purchase could be interpreted as a signal of loyalty or independence, adding a new layer of complexity to international relations. Global aviation could fragment, with competing standards and less integration. Airlines and regulators might have to navigate a patchwork of technical requirements, certifications, and supply chains, making collaboration more challenging than ever before. The West would be forced to rethink its strategies and adapt to a world where it no longer sets all the rules. Policymakers and industry leaders would need to innovate, collaborate, and perhaps even compromise in ways they haven't before. For developing nations, the shift offers leverage and alternatives, but also new complexities. Access to new technology could accelerate growth, but navigating the new power dynamics would require careful diplomacy and strategic choices. The CJ1000 project is a high-stakes gamble. Its failure would reinforce Western dominance, but its success would redraw the map of global industry. The stakes are enormous, not just for China, but for the entire world. The race is on, and the outcome will shape not just aviation, but the future of global order. Every innovation, every setback, will ripple across continents and industries. The sky is no longer the West's uncontested domain. It's now a battleground for the world's next superpower, and the consequences will be felt for generations to come.